How we doing, everyone? Sam here from United People's TV, here with something new. We're going to start doing more of these live streams. This is the first one we are doing, so sorry if there are any issues, any mistakes. Let us know in the comments and we'll hopefully improve it for the next one. But as you can see from the thumbnails, today is all about Marcus Rashford. If you didn't know, and I'm sure you do, but he scored a hat-trick last night for England's under-21s on his debut. I mean, the kid is a phenomenon. He scored on his Man United Europa League debut, he scored on his Man United Premier League debut, he scored on his England senior debut and his England under-21s debut with a hat-trick. You know, it was a decent first goal, latched onto a through ball. Second was a cracking finish with a deflection, and the third was an ice-cool penalty. Now, my argument here today is that Marcus Rashford should be starting for Man United against Man City in the derby on Saturday. I'm going to give you some reasons why. I think, first of all, let's remember what Rashford did in the derby last year. You know, that was in the middle of the hype around Rashford to say, is he good enough? Is he going to be a flash in the pan like Federico Makeda was? Absolutely fucking not. He looks like the real deal. He is absolutely mustard. And he just seems to be getting better with every single game that he plays. And I think that Rashford came on against Hull and changed the game completely. We were really slow and really lackadaisical against Hull until Rashford and Mkhitaryan came on. And when they came on, they changed it for United. And we all of a sudden had pace in attack. And we looked like the real deal. I'm just going to keep running through the comments as you leave them throughout the whole video. Matt's saying, fantastic player and is the future for United. You can't argue with that, 18-year-old. And he looks like he's taken everything in his stride. Fabiola's asking a good question as to who should be dropped. And that was something I was going to come on to as well, because we see there's two players out of that attack that I would argue that are out of form. Anthony Martial and Wayne Rooney. With Rooney, everybody knows my feelings on Rooney. It's not an agenda, it's just I see a player who's out of form and I don't think he should be in the team, but he's still getting assists and goals. And his record in the derby suggests that he is not going to get dropped for this game. You only look at Anthony Martial, and he scored for France in the first game in the international break. It was 0-0 in their second one, but Martial again has looked out of form. But I think Rashford, his natural position, if he's not going to be up front, is on the wing. And let's remember that he started off as a winger with our under-18s and 19s. So he has played there before. But if I'm asking who's going to be dropped, I would say either Rooney or Martial. As I said, I would probably choose Martial just because of Rooney's record in the derbies. But then who's going to play at right wing? Maybe Rashford could play at right wing as well. I think if you look at these attacking options that United have got this season, it is just phenomenal. It really is. You know, I can't wait for the day that we see Martial, Mkhitaryan, Rashford and Ibrahimovic in that starting 11. I think I might wet myself because United have started the season off very good. You know, we've got 3 wins out of 3. You know, it's a good start to the season, but we saw against Hull that once he got a defence that sat really deep, we found it hard to break them down. And the only way we could do that was with an injection of pace into that team. And if you're going to have Martial, Rashford and Mkhitaryan all in that same team together, it's going to be ridiculous. A comment here by Superior Harmony Addiction, interesting username. He's saying drop Zlatan or with Rashford. So he's either saying go 4-4-2 and play Rashford and Zlatan up front together, or drop Zlatan. Now, Zlatan Ibrahimovic has played every single minute of football in all the games he has started, dating back until April. He's not really a man you take off the pitch. But against Hull, he didn't look that good, did he? He looked tired. And it's given how much football he has played, that's probably not too surprising. I would argue that Zlatan should stay on, and I don't think that Mourinho is going to go 4-4-2 anytime soon. Bahati is saying he'll be a super sub. I think Marcus Rashford is too good to be a super sub. I don't think we should limit him like that. You saw against Hull how much of a difference he's made. And bearing in mind that this is a kid that hasn't played a minute of football, and he came on and did that straight away. You know, he got dropped to England under-21s, but he didn't let it affect him at all, and he was still playing quality football. You know, he could have let his head drop, could have got frustrated about being dropped, but he didn't. He took it in his stride, and he scored a hat-trick. That means he scored 4 goals in 110 competitive minutes of football this season for both Man United and England. You can't argue against that. Got a comment here from Osnijus. Sorry, I probably definitely said your name wrong. So Rashford as an impact sub to press Zabaleta. Hopefully Mkhitaryan gets fit to start ahead of Mata. We need pace and creativity to exploit the new tactics Guardiola implemented. Now, in terms of the new tactics that Guardiola has, Man City typically under Pellegrini set up with two defensive midfielders. That's switched now. They've only got Fernandinho sitting as a sole defensive midfielder in front of the back four, which means that there should be space in behind him. Now, technically, the number 10 should be the player to exploit that space, but Wayne Rooney he's creative enough, but he's not fast enough to really make the most of it. You do need someone like Mkhitaryan and maybe Mata in there. I do think Mata's too slow as well. But I suppose it's the wealth of attacking options that United have this year that we could have all these conversations where we've got a strong starting 11 and we haven't even got Mkhitaryan or Rashford in the team. You know, that's how good this transfer window has been for United. And after Louis van Gaal and his boring, dull football, we've switched to a situation where we've got just so many attacking options that we're spoiled. And that's a good thing. That's exactly the situation that Man United should be in, because attack is our charm. Bahati here saying, us to win against Man City, we need Rashford. Do we need Rashford? I think we do. I just can't look past his pace and his youthful exuberance, because he's not arrogant. Arrogant is the wrong word. It's just he's so naive. Naive again is not the right word. He's just so confident in his own ability that he just doesn't get fazed by any occasion. You know, the Etihad last year, up against Demichelis, he made him look silly. He basically retired Demichelis on that day. And United were the better for it. I just can't see past him starting against City, because I think if we set up exactly the same as we set up against Hull, we're going to find it very difficult to break down Man City. They're a better team. They're a stronger team. And as much possession, as much control of the game we had against Hull, we struggled to break down a defensively organised team. And yes, we've only conceded one goal this year, so United have got, on paper, the better defence than Man City, but they've still got good players. John Stones has started excellently well. I'm not sure who's going to play right back. It's either going to be Zabaleta or Sanya. Let me know in the comments who you would rather start against, maybe Rashford or maybe Martial. But I think Rashford should start against City. And this is not just a simple reaction to the fact that he scored a wonderful hat-trick against England U21s. I think if United set up how we did against Hull, we're going to find it very difficult to break Man City down from the start. If we set up how we did in the last 15 minutes against Hull, and we use Rashford and maybe Mkhitaryan, depending if he's fit, and we use pace right from the beginning of the game, then we're going to be very hard to beat. And City are going to find it very difficult to come away from Old Trafford with any sort of points. That is it for the first live stream today. Thank you everyone for watching and listening. We'll improve and get them better in the future. But make sure you subscribe to United People TV, and we'll see you all very, very soon. So take it easy.